Hello, Dork Squad. I'm Jonathan Cormer, and you're listening to Dorktales Storytime, the podcast for kids and their pop culture-loving grown-ups. And this is an inspiring story about a hidden hero of history.
It's a beautiful day for a story, adventure and glory, new friends and old ones too. It's an excellent day to get swept away in a tale, so let us regale you.
Today's story is inspired by a brand new release from Red Comet Press. Fortune Cookies for Everyone, the surprising story of the tasty treat we love to eat, by Mia Wengen, with illustrations by Colleen Kong Savage. This Smithsonian collaboration unwraps the crunchy mystery of the fortune cookie and the immigrant stories behind it. Grown-ups, you'll find this Junior Library Guild Gold selection at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or your favorite indie bookstore. Check our show notes for the details. You were right, Jonathan. I did need a moment of peace and tranquility. Rest is important for recharging your creativity. And boy, do I need a recharge. You know, with all of the fall festivals I've been planning for the Folktale Forest, my knitting classes, the autumn play that's in rehearsals, and my snack inventions, of course. Snack inventions? Yes, like the poppin' popcorn and candy mix. Ooh. Through so much trial and error, I've achieved the perfect mixture of popcorn with no unpopped kernels, precisely measured butter and seasoning, and expertly balanced chocolate candy clusters that maintain their shape and size in the popcorn bag, but perfectly melt in the mouth when you eat them. Yum. Major yum. Well, I will say, you picked the perfect place to take a break from festival planning and knitting and, snack inventing. Ever since Hesper and Vesper took me on a journey through Slumberland, I couldn't stop thinking about 40 Winks Tea Shop. I can see why. I love that we get to sit on these giant lily pads in the water. Isn't it so cozy? And I love a good cup of tea. This pep in your step peppermint is excellent. And don't forget the lavender shortbread tea cookies. They're simply divine. Yeah, the cookies are amazing. Like these ginger snaps. I think they're my favorite. You know, we should be sure to compliment the chef and owner of this fine establishment, Earl the Tea Toad. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Earl, oh, Earl.
Oh, why, hello there, Reg. Good to see you again.
And you, Earl. This is my best friend, Jonathan.
Why, hello there. Pleased to meet you.
We were just discussing how incredible your tea cookies are. Each flavor is baked to perfection.
Well, isn't that too kind?
How do you come up with your recipes? Unless you wish to keep it a secret.
Oh, no. I love sharing my passion for brewing up beverages and baking cookies with my friends. Over the years, I've written all my spells for perfect teas and treats in this.
Whoa! You just pulled a book out of thin air.
Not just any book. This is a Tea Toad's Guide to Tea and Treats.
Like a magical recipe spell book.
That's exactly right. I come up with my recipes through lots of trial and error, mixing ingredients this way and that, tasting things, and adding a bit of my Tea Toad magic. And when I get it just right, the recipe writes itself into my book. Then I initial it to seal the deal. You can see 2 T's right here in the corner for Tea Toad.
Ooh, wow! That's so cool. You know, Earl, I like to dabble in these pursuits as well.
Oh, a fellow baker?
I prefer to call myself a snack inventor.
Well, that's just delightful.
You know... Oh, he's thinking. Sitting in a tea house and listening to all this talk about creating delicious food and snacks. Ooh, Earl, I think we're about to get a story. It makes me think of someone from my world. Someone I think you both will love. Wonderful!
Well, don't mind me taking a seat on this lily pad next to you fellows so I can listen.
Oh, yes, do join us. Let me pour you some tea.
Why, thank you.
All right, Jonathan, all set. Who will we be learning about today? Makoto Hagiwara. Ooh, I can't wait. Makoto was a landscape architect and an inventor. But before I tell you more, let me introduce you to the fortune cookie. Look, the magical recipe book. Have you ever seen it glow like that, Earl?
Oh, never. It opened to a new page.
Oh, wow. The book is sketching a fortune cookie. That is beautiful. A fortune cookie is a thin, crispy cookie that's folded in a special style. They're made from ingredients like flour, sugar, and vanilla. When you break one open, you may find a mystery inside. Ooh, I love a good mystery. There is a piece of paper in the cookie that has a written fortune, a wise saying, and sometimes lucky numbers.
Oh, look at the recipe book.
It says, an exciting opportunity awaits you. Oh, I've gotten that exact fortune before. Ooh, lovely. Makoto's story begins before the fortune cookie, though. He immigrated to the United States from Japan in 1878. He lived in San Francisco, California. Oh, that's where I'm from.
Oh, must be a great place then.
Shucks. In San Francisco, there's a large park spread out over 1,017 acres in the city. It's called Golden Gate Park. Ooh, sounds so fancy. In 1894, the World's Fair was in San Francisco, and there was a Japanese village exhibition at Golden Gate Park. That exhibition was eventually transformed by the landscape architect himself, Makoto Hagiwara.
And what did it become?
Yes, tell us. Oh, wait a second. You can see it here in the magical recipe book. The Japanese tea garden. As you can see here, Makoto had an incredible vision for creating a Japanese garden with a tea house on 5 acres of land.
It sounds like a lot of what we try to do here at my old Photo Winks establishment, preserving the natural wetland for all to enjoy.
Exactly. Today, the garden still stands. It is the oldest public Japanese garden in the United States. It has an arched drum bridge, pagodas, and many native Japanese plants.
Oh, like what?
Earl, I think you can see them right there.
Are those miniature trees growing out of my recipe book? Stunning!
Yes, these are exactly the kinds of trees in the park. Cherry blossoms that bloom in the spring, Japanese maple, and oh, look, a little koi pond. Ooh, fish.
I love a good pond, I can't lie.
Makoto worked hard to expand and improve the garden and built a 24-room house that his family lived in on the property. His daughter, her husband, and their 3 children continued the legacy of taking care of the garden. Astounding! But, Jonathan, what is it, Reg? How does the fortune cookie fit into this story?
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder that myself.
Oh, right. Well, Makoto Hagiwara invented the fortune cookie.
A snack inventor?
Yep.
That is...
Uh-oh.
So... what's happening?
I think he's overheating. He's just a little excited. It'll pass.
Cool.
And he's back. Tell us more immediately. How did this amazing cookie come to be? I'm so glad you asked. Makoto served fortune cookies at the Japanese tea garden. He made them by hand using this. An iron mold called a kata. Thank you, Magical Recipe Book, for showing my friends. Earl, look, his initials. Ah, good catch, Reg. Makoto used an iron mold with his initials on it, M.H.
Hey, I do that too. Well, ain't that something?
Makoto's version of the fortune cookie is believed to be based on a fortune cracker, or a Japanese cracker called the Sujiura Senbei. It was popular in Kyoto in the 19th century. These crackers were sold at shrines and temples as souvenirs, and always contained a small paper fortune inside. At first, Makoto flavored his fortune cookies with miso, just like the fortune crackers in Japan.
Miso, you say? Meaning that they were a tad savory rather than sweet. That sounds delicious, too.
Miso is made by fermenting soybeans. It's salty and umami, which is a savory flavor. You might have had it as miso soup at a Japanese restaurant, but it can also be sweetened with sugar. Ooh, that sounds like a real treat for tea time. The cookies became so popular that he asked his good friend and baker, Soichi Okamura, to help him because it took too long to make each cookie by hand. Soichi had an idea. Why not switch the flavor from miso to vanilla and sugar to appeal to white Americans? This is the version we know today. I feel like I can smell the vanilla from the pages of the book. The bakery started making fortune cookies for Makoto, and they would sell out every day. Japanese Americans ran Chinese restaurants during this time period because sushi wasn't popular back then. They served fortune cookies at the end of every meal. Patrons loved this special treat.
Oh, I can see why.
To meet the demand, Makoto's friend Soichi created a machine that made many fortune cookies at a time. It worked like a mini crepe maker with many arms. Workers would peel off the piping hot cookies, slip the fortunes inside while the cookies were still soft, and fold them into their unique shape. So clever! Going from being made entirely by hand to working with the fortune cookie making machine. That's right. The fortune I would write is, "A grand adventure awaits you." Hey, good one.
Mine would say, "A tranquil pond will be your refuge."
Perfect. So what happened next? Unfortunately, World War II changed things for Japanese-American families like Makoto's and his baker friend Soichi. Oh no! On December 7th, 1941, the government of Japan declared war on the United States by attacking a place called Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. Many Americans unfairly blamed all Japanese people, including Japanese Americans, for the attack.
Well, I say, that is terribly unfair.
The United States government passed a law that required Japanese Americans to leave their homes and live in concentration camps, locations where they were confined and their rights were taken away. When this happened, Chinese American bakers took over the fortune cookie business. After the war was over, families faced many hardships. Makoto's family wasn't allowed to go back to their home in the tea garden.
But he was the reason the garden existed in the first place.
The story of who created the fortune cookie was lost. As the cookie became more popular and spread to new cities, including Los Angeles, and all without the say of the cookie's first creators. Jonathan, we can't let this happen. Magical recipe book. Please write this down. Use your shining magical golden writing, smell-o-vision, and ability to grow trees. This must be remembered. Oh, it listened. Look, a drawing of a courtroom.
A courtroom?
Oh, so it didn't listen. All hope is lost. No, Reg, this is the next part of the story. In 1983, there was a mock trial. Los Angeles and San Francisco both claimed the fortune cookie was invented in their city. Someone from a Los Angeles bakery pulled out a kata to use as proof. But...
the initials!
The initials! Makoto Hagiwara's initials were on the kata. His mold had disappeared from San Francisco and ended up in Los Angeles. Since Japanese Americans were only allowed to take what they could carry to the concentration camps, many of their belongings were stolen or lost during the events of World War II. That included Soichi's bakery equipment, like the fortune cookie machine and the kata.
So, Robert, the real story has been restored.
That's right. The story of the fortune cookie is a part of so many people's lives and histories. And Makoto's legacy, including his role in the creation of the fortune cookie and his stewardship of the historic Japanese tea garden, have been preserved. Look, the recipe book! That looks like a sign, decorated with leaping frogs. In 1974, an artist named Ruth Asawa, another of our hidden heroes of history, yes, she designed a bronze plaque featuring frogs as a tribute to the whole Hagiwara family. It is near the front gate of the Japanese tea garden, and it reads, "To honor Makoto Hagiwara and his family, who nurtured and shared this garden from 1895 to 1942.
What a tribute! Thank you for sharing that riveting story, Jonathan. Oh, and a thank you to my magical recipe book, of course. Makoto's story has got me thinking. Will you fellas stick around? I think I may be fixing to cook up something new for 40 Winks Tea House.
Oh, will I ever? If you want to brainstorm, or, even more importantly, have someone taste test the new recipes, I'm your hedgehog.
Well, that will be mighty helpful.
I'll be here enjoying the pond and the pep in your step peppermint tea.
Alrighty then, let's see. Ready to invent something new, Reg?
Absolutely, Earl. Absolutely. A special thank you to Red Comet Press, the independent publisher behind Fortune Cookies for Everyone, by Mia Wengen, illustrated by Colleen Kong Savage. This Smithsonian collaboration is an investigative adventure into the history of fortune cookies and the immigrant ingenuity baked inside them. Grown-ups, we'll leave you with this fortune cookie wisdom. A good book is in your child's future. You'll find all the details and purchase links in our show notes. Dorktales Hidden Heroes of History is a John and Character production. This episode was written and produced by Molly Murphy and performed by Jonathan Cormer. Sound recording and production by Jermaine Hamilton at Pacific Grove Soundworks. Reach out to us on Instagram or email us at dorktalestorytime@gmail.com. Find links in the show notes or go to dorktalestorytime.com. Now, go be the hero of your own story, and we'll see you next Once Upon a Time.